Hey gang, Denise here, and this is Pose of the Week. Today our pose is Parsvokonasana, so known as long side angle pose. I really like this posture because it's a great posture. Even new people to yoga can get into the shape, and then we can add layers of complexity and intensity for people who want a bit more of a challenge. So often we get into Parsvokonasana from a warrior two posture because the foundation is very similar, and I'm very big on foundations, as you probably have noticed. So here, in kind of a warrior two shape, I would make sure great toes being engaged down and that we're pressing the knee outwards so that we're engaging our lateral fascial line here. On the back foot, I seal the pinky toe and make sure the great toe is grounded. So I don't want my great toe coming up like that kind of thing. And I certainly don't want my arch collapsing in. So that's something I see oftentimes. So I want to get that really energized, make sure my knee is straight and it's not falling in either. So if we can get all that happening in Warrior Two, we're going to take it with us in Parsvokonasana. So our next step, maybe we're taking the arms down from that shoulder height position and taking the elbow just above the knee, and then we can reach the fingers toward the front of the mat or the front of the room perhaps. And this is a really nice place to make sure that the foundation didn't fall apart already. Because what could happen here is that this knee would come in. I bet you've seen this. Another thing that happens is that the butt goes back. So sometimes we see this. And if that's happening, it's going to be impossible to roll that shoulder back very much. And we just start having kind of a broken shape in this pose. So we want to take our foundation with us, make sure this knee keeps pressing out. And with the arm and knee connection, that is fairly simple. We want to pull the front body into the back body. And then we can use our gaze. I often see people gazing down the body in this pose, and this is what happens when they do that. You see how I'm out of alignment now? So direct your students to look straight ahead, or they can slide their eyes up. But as soon as they get their eyes oriented from here to here, you see the body's naturally going to follow. So that's a really great place for them to learn that. If you have students who want to drop down a little bit deeper in the pose, and they can do that without falling apart, you could always use a block for that. Other option is to bring the hand right to the mat. But you see, I'm not letting this happen. You see what happens here? I need to be able to stay in that proper aligned shape. And you know, this is not about some kind of rule breaking or anything like that. It's about finding shapes and positions and practicing them with our asana practice so that when we go out and we pick things up in real life or we're lunging or whatever, we don't fall apart in those shapes either. We have a way of organizing the body that really works. It works under load and it works with our own body weight. So that's what we're really talking about here. So I'm going to quickly go through it on the other side. I'd actually do all of these steps every time with my class. I don't actually rush from A to B with my students. I give them an opportunity every time to work with those foundations. So we're going to come down, grounding through the great toe here, press the knee out, great toe on the back foot is grounded, arch is lifted. I'm energizing through my inseams to my pelvic floor. Mula Bandha is engaged, and then I can bring the elbow just above the knee and reach the fingers to the front of the room. Sometimes we're wondering if this thigh bone is at an angle or how deep is it. So you want to keep it about parallel with the mat if possible. Then we can make the choice to move a little deeper, and that is fine as long as we're not moving out. And then we lift the gaze upward potentially. And that's where we like to take about 5 to 10 breaths. And I'm active the whole time. There's really no time in that pose for hanging on my joints or whatever. One thing that is really important to know in a posture like this is keep pressing into the feet. That's going to give you that uplifting energy. So remember that. Align first, figure out a good foundation, and then keep that foundation happening as you go into the pose. And there's lots of iterations of the pose, but notice the foundation doesn't change. Switch to the other side. and keep reminding your students about pressing down, about engaging, and about breathing, of course. So if they can keep all that together, man, they're going to learn so much from that posture. And that's really what it's all about, in my opinion. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you get some good tips out of that one for you. Bye for now.